Welcome to the Wise Photographer Podcast with your host, Chelsea Wise. Each week, Chelsea is bringing you the best tips and tricks to help you create a joyful, profitable, more purpose-filled photography business. Chelsea is a wife and mom of two who has built a thriving photography business in her tiny hometown in western North Dakota. Without further ado, here's your host, Chelsea Wise.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited. Today I have my good friend, Emily Davis, on the podcast episode. So welcome to the podcast, Emily. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm excited.
So for anyone who doesn't know who you are, can you kind of give us a little bit of backstory about who you are and what you photograph and kind of what your kind of career path has looked like over the years?
Well, my name is Emily Davis, and I own KiddiClicks Preschool Photography. That is my primary business these days. I started out as a wedding photographer coming straight out of college, and I had majored in music education. So I thought that I wanted to be a choir director, got into junior, senior year, and decided that that was not the right career path for me. And so I started looking at other options and had wanted to be a wedding planner back in high school. So I looked more into that and realized, oh, I'm looking at all of these photographers' blog posts, and it's not even really event planning that I'm interested in, it's the photography. And so I decided I was going to be a wedding photographer, didn't own a camera, had never taken a picture, wasn't anything but like a cell phone. And I bought a camera the summer between junior and senior year of college and never looked back, and started my photography career right out of college. And I shot my first preschool back in 2014 for my own church. They have like a little Mother's Day Out program. And so I shot that. I picked up a couple of other preschools just kind of off word of mouth in the area, and didn't really see that as a career path, more as just kind of like a supplemental income to my wedding income. Mm-hmm. And then I had my kids in late 2016 and early 2018. So they're like 13 months and some days apart. And my life just totally flipped on its head. Two babies that close together will change your life a lot. And so I decided I really needed my weekends back to be with my family. And by 2018, my oldest son was going to a Mother's Day Out and my daughter was about to start. And it really like freed up some daytime space for me. And I decided to just go all in on preschool photography and see if that could rival my income from wedding photography. And it has. Preschool photography has been so good for my family and my career and the lifestyle that I want to have with my kids, sort of being a stay-at-home mom type, but I'm making a full-time income.
Yeah, I love that. And where are you located at again? I don't know if you said that.
I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So I live in a really, really small town on the edge of DFW. So I'm really close to everything, but we're in a small community.
Awesome. I love that. So what has been like your favorite part aside from the way that it's been able to let you live your lifestyle? What's been your favorite part of preschool photography?
Well, one thing that I really love about preschool photography is that once you get over the hump of booking the preschool, they will stay with you and they will be so loyal if you just do a good job, treat them right, give them a good product. And the most important thing is that you have to make it really, really easy for these directors. So things that I'm doing in my business are everything is online. No papers, no iPads in the lobby while parents are trying to pick up their kids. We do it all online. Prints are shipped straight to the parents, and then digital images go via email. So the directors aren't having to deal with a lot of the back and forth with parents. It's kind of all just coming to me. And so that has allowed me to do like double picture days per year. We do a fall and a spring for almost all of our schools, because some of the ones in the past who have said like, oh, we only do fall because it's too hard. Like it's just too much for me to try to do it twice a year. After they come to us once, they'll say, oh yeah, we could do the spring. Like it's so easy. Why wouldn't we? Mm-hmm. I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see how that could be very beneficial. Now that we're going into this quarantine maybe like 2 weeks before our schools shut down, we had spring picture day for our schools, and it's kind of a larger company that did them. Well, now all the prints have been delivered to the school. So now the secretary today put out on Facebook that she's going to be there for like an hour and a half for parents to come and get them. And I could see how that could be so much easier just to have them shipped directly to the parents and the schools, not to have to mess with that as much, and really a benefit to schools and parents as well. Because right now I'm having to have my sister go pick up Skylar's pictures today because we're doing an interview during the time that they were going to hand them out, where if they'd been shipped to the house, we would have gotten them earlier, which would have been wonderful.
And another big thing for that is KiddiClicks is expanding. So we're based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but we've got a couple of schools down in Houston from the spring. And I was able to get to one of those before everything shut down. And so it was like the week before shutdown. So parents were getting their images in, getting their prints in directly to their homes in the mail. And I just can't imagine having to like drive down to Houston or ship that there and then just worry, are my images getting to the parents, or, are they getting held up at the school? Are people going to be mad at me and think that it's my fault? So I have found that to just be so easy. It hardly ever gets messed up where the prints don't get delivered or anything. But my labs are incredible. And on the very few times that has happened, the labs have sent them out like same day, and it's been no big deal.
Awesome. That's amazing. I know that this year is certainly a weird year and not something you would definitely have to worry about in the future, but the way you've set it up sounds like it has worked really awesome. So you run KiddiClicks, and you also have just started an online course teaching preschool photography, right?
Yes.
You have. So that is kind of the reason I've invited you on the podcast today, is to kind of maybe do a little bit of a deep dive into maybe one of the modules or topics that you kind of cover within the course. I think it would be super valuable for all of our listeners here today who are looking to kind of diversify income or look into finding repeat clients type things instead of trying to reinvent the wheel to book individual clients over and over again. So So what would you like to cover today? You kind of mentioned marketing possibly.
Yeah, we'll kind of deep dive into marketing, but I was going to tell you a little bit about the course and what it covers. And it really is everything you need to know about preschool photography. That's what I named the course, and that's what it is. It's a super comprehensive deep dive into everything from booking the school, how I set things up, the style of photography that I chose, which was really strategic, actually. We do all inside with a backdrop with lighting, so I'm not having to worry about rainouts or, the light not being perfect, setting up by a window, and then there's clouds and then there's sun. I think we just zeroed in on the perfect, easy, same every single time setup. And then in the course, we go through gear and equipment, everything you need to know, editing, how to make the class composites in a really simple way with Photoshop. And you're not having to use InDesign or anything like that, but it sets it up super duper easy. So let's go ahead and talk about marketing on how to book the schools, because preschool photography, as far as just like taking the pictures goes, it is not rocket science at all. Anyone who is working as a full-time or a part-time photographer will 100% be able to take the photos in a way that will sell. But marketing is kind of, if you're not used to marketing in this way, can kind of seem
daunting, maybe.
Yeah, a little daunting. So we'll talk about how to book the schools. Now, the most important thing with booking schools is that you have to ask for the work. And if you're not used to sports photography or preschool photography, if you've been shooting families or bride and groom couples or anything like that, it would be super duper awkward to walk up to some people that you know and say, hey, I heard you're getting married. I'd love to shoot your wedding.
Yeah.
But because the money's coming out of their pocket. So that's just really awkward and something that you would never, ever do. But with preschool directors, who is actually your client, even though the parents are the one buying the pictures, the preschool director doesn't have any financial, she's not the one who is paying for this. And so it's easier to ask for the work because
they don't have anything to lose.
Yeah, they don't have anything to lose. Yeah, right. You're basically just asking them to work with you, not asking them to pay you.
Okay.
So you've got to ask for the work, and this will not work for you if you don't get comfortable with selling your services to schools and asking them to hire you and giving them reasons why you're the best, why you're the easiest, why you'll change what they're doing and make their parents happier. So how do you do this? You just start talking to everyone you know, and this includes social media. So how I used to feel about promoting my business on social media versus how I feel now. When I was shooting weddings, I never really wanted to put my work on my personal social media page, like my personal Facebook page or Instagram, because I just kind of felt like it was a little desperate. And I didn't love working with brides and grooms who I knew in real life. It just kind of, the lines get blurred a little bit, and I preferred working with strangers. So I wasn't marketing myself as much on my personal Facebook page and social media channels. Mm-hmm. But now I'm looking to inform my audience that if they know anyone who is a preschool director, or if they're a parent who's really involved in their preschool, that it would be great to get our businesses together and let me do their preschool pictures, because I know that I can give them an incredible product really, really easily and seamlessly. So I'm just looking to talk to anybody who I might know in my real life to get my foot in the door at some of these preschools. Another thing is you can create marketing tools to be able to hand to people in real life, or even walking through the door of preschools. I've done that 1,000 times. I'll be driving down the road, see a preschool that looks like it's in a good area, and just walk through the door with, I have business cards and I have informational magazine that is 12 pages long, and I sell the template to it on my website. But that's been a game changer for my business, is to be able to walk into a business and give them this magazine that I feel like they're not immediately going to chunk in the trash, like a business card might be. So I have those marketing tools to be able to market in person, but I can also use it direct emailing, which is really my main source of marketing that I do. So I use a website called MailChimp. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's kind of like Constant Contact or
ConvertKit or Flowdesk.
ConvertKit, yeah. MailChimp is very, very similar to those, except for I think it's 1,000 times easier. I've tried Constant Contact and ConvertKit, and MailChimp has just been really simple for me to use. It's really, really user-friendly. And that is how I use it to do cold emails to a bunch of different preschools in my area. And so I just started compiling email addresses probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I get on Facebook, which kind of seems different to not just go to their website, but I get on Facebook pages and I'll just type in like preschool and then go to pages up at the top. And then I click on the left where I can put local businesses so that I know it'll pull from places close to me. And then I will right click on the preschool's Facebook page that comes up, go to about, and there's the email address right there. So it's really simple and fast to get a whole bunch of email addresses for these different preschools to be able to cold email them. And then I can use the marketing magazine in those emails. And that gets clicked a lot. With MailChimp, you can look on the back end in the reports and it'll show you who all has opened your email and how many times they've opened it. And then also if anyone's clicked the link and how many times they've clicked on it. Mm-hmm. So that allows me to send a personal email to that preschool director, or even call them on the phone and say, hey, I saw that you opened up our informational magazine for preschool photography, and I was just calling to see if you had any questions, or if there's a time that we can get together, or me to tell you a little bit more about how to book with us in the fall. So that works really, really well for me. You just kind of have to get out of your bubble and say, what's the absolute worst thing that could happen? They tell me no. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of the short version of the marketing tools that I'm using. The other thing is kind of, are you casting a wide net or a small net? And I'm casting a really wide net. I'm just, any preschool who's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area who has more than about 40 kids, I am interested in. But I'm using in-person stuff where I'm going through the doors of the preschool and asking for the director and trying to talk to somebody in person. I'm using that for more targeted schools that I know have a lot of children at the preschool who are in target areas with young families and a good socioeconomic, like mid to upper level income, and focusing my marketing efforts on the target schools when it comes to in-person.
Yeah, that makes sense to cast your wide net with their quote unquote cheaper option and then target with something that's a little bit more either hands-on or actually has some cost involved with it. That's a really smart idea for sure. Where can everyone kind of find you online and find a little bit more about your course and everything?
At www.emilydaviseducation.com. And that's spelled the normal way, EMILYDAVIS education.com.
Perfect. And we'll have a link to that down in the show notes as well. So when it comes to kind of photographing these, you said it's very simple for anyone who's kind of taken pictures before to really set up your lighting and backdrops and everything. But are there any specific poses that you do? Do you do the same pose over and over, or do you variate them? Do you have any suggestions as far as that goes?
Yeah. So I used to do 2 poses per child. And I knew that I could get 2 poses per child. That was a really easy way to start out. And I would just do a headshot and a full length vertical shot. So full length vertical, headshot horizontal, and move on to the next child. And then I added a third pose in about 2.5 years ago. And I really saw a bump in my sales. And so I said, okay, what if I increase it a little bit more? And now I have what I call the 5 key shots that I try to get for every single kid. And if they're cooperating at all, I am able to get these 5 key shots. So what it is a full length vertical, a headshot horizontal, a tighter crop headshot horizontal, a vertical half body, and then a horizontal half body. And I'm trying to get different expressions in all of the different shots. So first of all, I'm getting pictures that look different because of the way that I'm cropping it, but the kid's not moving. I'm the one who's moving back and forth. I have a little rolling chair that I use, and I go back and forth to be able to take photos of the kids. And it really gives me a lot of variety without taking a lot of time. So I've seen pictures from other photographers, especially in the preschool genre, where they'll have like 4 different props and chairs that they're using and having the kids stand up and then sit down, and then you're sitting on the floor and kneeling. And while that'll give you a lot of variety, it takes a ton of time. And I have some preschools where we have up to like 300 kids that we're getting through in 2 4-hour days.
Wow.
So we don't have time to be spending like multiple minutes with each child. So if you would like to download that 5 key shots PDF, you can go to bit.ly/5 key shots. So that's bit.ly/5 key shots.
Awesome. We'll definitely link that down in the show notes as well for everyone. So you can check that out as well. But yeah, that's really smart to be able to have those 5 different shots that are going to increase your sales on the back end, and they're easy for you to get through quickly. I feel like that's so smart. I've known you since, when did we meet? 2013, 14?
2013.
Oh my goodness. It's been forever.
Is that right?
I think so. And I feel like everything that you've ever done has always been so strategic and very thought through. So I know, just going into, without even seeing the course fully, that everything that you're going to present is going to be so well thought through from beginning to end, because you are so good at like troubleshooting things and finding what's wrong and finding an easier way to do it. So anyone who is interested in checking out Emily's course, I definitely recommend it if you're looking at diversifying your income, or maybe even replacing kind of portrait photography with more of a volume photography concept. I think she's done so many amazing things with her business throughout the years, and it's been awesome to watch you kind of polish things up and keep going. So, but yeah, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Where can everyone find you online for social media so they can go Instagram stalk you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Emily Davis Photo, and then also at KiddiClicks, KIDDCLICKS, at my website, emilydaviseducation.com. And if you're interested in the course, like Chelsea was talking about, I'm going to do a 20% off coupon code for the Wise Photography podcast listeners. So you can put in the code WISE Photographer in all caps, WISE Photographer, and get 20% off the course.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's so wonderful. That is amazing. I hope that anyone who's kind of looking at diversifying definitely takes advantage of that coupon code, and we'll have that link down in the show notes as well, so you guys can check that out. But thank you again for coming on the show today, and I miss you. I want to come down to Dallas and see you.
I know.
We live way too far apart.
We do. Well, can I tell them we actually saw each other not too long ago?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Chelsea was down in San Antonio for a little vacation with her husband, and she got a delayed flight in Dallas, and I was so pumped. I was like praying that they would get delayed. I know it's kind of bad, but we got to pick them up from the airport and go have dinner together, and it was so much fun. We didn't get a picture.
I know. I can't believe we didn't get a picture. 2 photographers and no picture.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good to see you, but I want to come down and see you again and come stay with you and see the new house and everything soon. So hopefully we'll plan something this fall or something. But all right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I have one more question for you.
What?
All right. So this is a question I ask all my interviewees. As you know, I'm a crazy plant lady. If you could be a plant, what plant would you choose?
Okay, you're going to like this. I've got one plant in my house, a single plant, because I'm a black thumb, and it is a faux fiddly fig. So that's what I would pick.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. Fiddly figs are pretty finicky, but the faux ones.
Fiddly fig, but like fake.
Yep.
Can't kill it. That's what I want to be.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I love your answer to the plant question. And make sure you guys check out the show notes below for all the links to find Emily online, to check out her course, and to get the 20% off code, which is Wise Photographer. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Wise Photographer podcast. Dive into the show's notes for this episode and all past episodes at www.thewisephotographer.com. If you loved the show, share it with a friend. Thanks for tuning in, you Wise Photographer, you.